beat.
It's not a joke right now. We are live inside the building with the queen herself, Mama Africa. It has graced us with her presence on time, looking fine, shine. Yeah. What are you saying, my baby girl?
What's up?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm fine, darling. I'm good.
So glad to have you here. Do you know, when I heard you were coming, I almost thought it wasn't even possible. I thought it wasn't gonna happen. It was just too last minute, too much of a surprise.
I get that.
You know, you get a good thing, and it's just like, wow.
It's also both ways, you know, that I would be available for, you know, to come on the radio station and to have you, you know, welcome me. So like, I appreciate that as well.
Miss Yemi Alade, BET MOBO Awards nominee, MTV Africa Awards winner, and soon to be multi-Grammy Award winner as well.
Girl, you know this.
I already know. I actually just already know. But I mean, we're just speaking it into existence. We know that's really coming.
Sir.
But before we get into anything, I was on your Instagram yesterday and I saw you on your Insta story riding a bike, or maybe not so much riding the bike. Maybe the bike was riding you. I don't know.
Wow.
It was a bit.
What was going on?
What was going on there?
It was more like Zuma wrestling.
Hey.
Sumo wrestling.
Yeah, Zuma wrestling. It wasn't easy, babe. I rode into the hedges more times than I actually rode the bike.
Right.
And it happened over and over, and I was like,
What's going on?
You should be able to do this. It's just 2 tires.
It's just 2 tires.
It wasn't working. I've never ridden one before.
Oh my gosh, baby
it was my
girl.
first time. It was my first time ever riding a bike. Okay, actually, I attempted 2 days before yesterday. It was a disaster.
What?
A total disaster.
What about the stabilizers? Why do you add them?
Look.
Yeah.
See, no, the extra 2. No, that looks.
It doesn't.
It takes the fun out of it.
It's there for a reason, though.
But riding into the hedges is not fun though.
It's not okay, but you know, in St. Lucia, I actually rode a tricycle. So that was the closest I came to riding a bicycle.
I love that.
So now I'm seeing the bicycle, because when I posted my pictures and videos riding a tricycle, they're like, this one, you'll never ride a bicycle. So, and then I'm looking at these, because the family I went to visit, they all have bicycles. I'm like, I need to ride this now.
You want to show yourself.
There's this 4-year-old boy riding a bicycle. And I finally did it though. You know, they took me almost into the express, but it's a bicycle lane. It goes around the entire estate. So I was able to kind of ride. I'll post proper videos of my triumph.
You actually get there. And you know, if you're not so good at the bike riding, that doesn't matter, because you can definitely sing.
Yes, girl.
You can sing. You're making money from your singing. You're looking good, and it's very great. It's going so well. I find that with the African accent, because it is very melodic, and even the language is very melodic, I feel like sometimes people can sing in an African accent and kind of get away with not actually having the vocal training. But your voice sounds like you've been doing this from day. Like you've been having the kind of the schooling and the training. Have you ever had that kind of
Thank you for that compliment.
No problem.
I actually won a talent show in 2009, and it was compulsory for me to have sort of like voice training for 2 months.
Right.
It was compulsory. But prior to that, I love music so much, so I'd always participated in anything that had to do with music.
Right, okay.
In all the schools I attended. You know, but yeah, professional voice training, I don't really do it, but I sing every day, so I think that is training in its own way.
It is training in its own way.
Yes.
I've always wondered why God didn't give me this blessing of having vocals. No, honestly, like I always sit there and imagine what life would be like if I could sing, and I would just use it. I would abuse it, to be fair. That's why God didn't give it to me, because if a man doesn't want me, I'll just be singing. I'll make him fall in love.
You go buy me Ferrari.
Exactly.
You could have had your own Johnny for true. Like.
I could have had my own Johnny.
Wait, but can you ride a bicycle?
I can ride a bicycle.
So you see there?
No, God, swap the talent.
No, you should have seen videos. I was like, God, but why? What did I do?
It's just never enough. But let's talk about your music real quick. We're going to get into some real soon. But one thing I really do love is the way you express yourself. You know, people can say, oh, you know, my man's cheated on me and I'm upset. But then you will say, you know, I'm looking for my Johnny. Is he with you, you and you and you?
I might break his head, but I just want to see him, right?
But the way you say it, you're very creative. What's the writing process like for you? Like, how do you put these stories together?
So most times I go into the studio with topics that I want to, sing about.
Okay.
And then there are times when a beat or a production just catches me unawares and I have melody. So I drop the melody and maybe a little storyline, and then I have to sit back and create the entire thing. So, it's not just melodious. It also sort of like carries along the story without being too bulky.
Yeah. I feel like you can tell there's a story behind it, even just by watching the video. The videos are a story as well.
Exactly. Like mini movies.
Yeah, mini movies. That's what we're all about.
The beat.
But speaking about no-go areas, my baby girl, what are you saying? You a no-go area right now?
Oh, yes, I am.
You're a no-go area.
Am I supposed to be everywhere go area?
Yeah, no, definitely not. Exclusive.
Very
exclusive. Okay, we love that. But I know you've probably been asked this question a lot of times. How did this remix come about? Because when I saw it on the playlist, I was like, Rick Ross doing Afrobeat.
Yemi has gone clear.
Yemi has gone clear.
She has done so. She has finished now.
She's
Just
finished
retire.
now.
She's
Just
done.
retire. Ricky Rose.
Wow, like even me myself, I was super excited when it happened. We wanted to have a remix of the song and some other songs of ours. Okay, so myself and Rick Ross are ambassadors for premium liquor.
Of course.
And
did you bring any?
I'm gonna bring some later. Do you know the time now?
I mean,
It's 5 p.m. somewhere.
Doesn't matter.
If I'm walking around with bottles,
No one can tell you anything. You're Yemi Alade.
Come on.
I said that girl, she's drunk.
They'll never know.
She's drunk.
They'll never know.
But later on, I got you.
Okay, fantastic. We love that. So you guys were the ambassadors for this drink?
Yes, we are at the moment. And I sent a few songs and he chose Oh My Gosh.
Of course.
Yes,
Nice.
and I was super excited, even more excited when he sent his verse and to hear him, because I'm a fan of his already.
Yeah.
And to have this happen, I know that there'll be more, records of us in the future.
Of course.
But at the moment, you guys just enjoy this one. It's a great look for Nigeria, for Africa, and for music in general.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you quickly for being such a great representation of African women, like in every aspect of the sense, from the fact that you are 100% talented, you look good, you can dance, like your backup dancers don't overshadow you. You're there, you're giving as much as they are, and a great inspiration. Proud to be African. We love that.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. But going back to you and Rick Ross, did you actually ever get to show him how to zanku, how to shaku a little bit?
Yeah. I even posted like one video. I managed to teach him how to shaku.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so he was like,
Hey.
If you check my timeline on Instagram, it's there.
It's there.
We'll
I
watch
cross
that.
this shaku courtesy of,
Right. We love that. I can't wait to see him doing that. That's really fantastic.
So
Yeah.
speaking of, does this mean you now can go to any Wingstop anywhere and just be like, I want some wings?
That should be my next request. But, I don't want to look like I'm too hungry.
Or you could collab.
Food is life, though.
Food is life.
I know, but I have to take it easy. I have to go there first, take a picture and be
Right.
like, Ricky, look at where I was at. And like,
Yeah.
do you know,
Right.
next time you go, tell them,
Loyalty
and
card and
Black
you know what I
card.
mean?
I love how the organic thinking. You're thinking ahead. You're not gonna look like
no,
you're
no.
asking for too much.
Exactly. You have to patronize
Asking.
first. And then,
Exactly. Act like you're being genuine, and
And my
then
entire band can now have like
Yeah, we can
free
all
wings.
I love that.
I love that.
So in the Oh My Gosh video, we see that not the remix, the original. We see a man gifting you with cars, expensive things. Has this ever happened in real life?
Well, I have gotten a lot of expensive things.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have actually.
Big up yourself.
And
Live
I'm
your best life.
thankful for that,
Yeah.
because even if I were gifted with less expensive stuff, it's a gift.
A gift
you
is a
know.
gift.
My mom taught me to never complain about a gift or return a gift, because you don't know where it's coming from and what
Yeah.
the person had to sacrifice to get it for you. So
Wow.
As long
I'm
as the
always
intentions are good.
grateful. Yes,
Exactly.
Wow. Mum's always come through that advice,
Yes, they do.
Hold tight, mumsy. So I would love to one day receive a car from a guy. If you're locked in right now, I have never been treated this way, but
Address
I'm
at the
waiting.
Beat
Me, I
London.
get trainers. Obviously, I love the trainers. Thank you, but a car though.
Well,
Address
let's see
at the
about
Beat
that. Easy. Don't go asking for it.
Okay, well,
It'll
just a
come.
little hint. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm not really
Ask for the car
asking.
fragrance first. You see, that's Yemi's. Ask for the car fragrance first.
well, yeah.
That's actually
Then
a
the
nice
next
idea.
time, get the
keys
car.
will come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see?
Or just complain about how my back is hurting because of the bus. And then hopefully
The back is a sensitive area.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
if you complain about the back, you
Wow.
might get that.
Wow.
All right, wow. So I'm guessing you're very you really believe in the power of your words.
Of course.
Yes.
Have to.
I was going to talk about this a bit later, but since we are talking about the power of your words, let's even talk about your album titles, because I feel like all your album titles have been so powerful. We've got King of Queens,
Yes.
we've got Mama Africa, Black
Yes.
Magic, and now we have Woman of Steel. Like, where are you drawing all this power from, and what makes you want to make your titles of your album so powerful?
I think I draw all the power that I have from within, and definitely from God. I think
course.
God is my number one bank of strength, and through it all, you know, God has been there. You know, in the dark times and good times, and a great team like ours, like mine, rather. You know, I Woman of Steel is the title itself. It was drawn from, you know, seeing how far I've come,
Right.
and seeing how far I still want to go,
Right.
and knowing that I'm going to need more than just alligator skin to get there, and it's not going to be tough just because of people, but because of time.
Right.
You know, because time is a very difficult factor that sometimes we take for granted.
Of course.
And I want to be the strongest that I need to be to do this. And I know there are lots of people out there who need to be this strong.
Right.
Who probably don't know where to get this strength from.
Right.
And I'm trying to make sure that I'm the best example of myself, so that people can understand that no matter how high you go or low you go, it's important to stay strong.
Stay strong.
Yeah.
We love that. It's all about the journey, and you know, thank you for inspiring people with your power and with the power of your music.
The beat.
Nice conversation
Yes,
about
yes.
how proudly African we are. And like I said earlier, you are a beautiful representation of everything good about Africa, about Nigeria, and the music that is coming out of all of Africa nowadays is really helping set the tone and the pace for our awesomeness. Like we can't hide it.
Very
From
true.
the music videos, from the colors, from the things we wear, from our makeup, our headdress, everything. You can't hide it. It's just like a secret that is no longer secret. Do you know what I mean?
True.
So do you feel like putting Africa in a good light is something you carry on your shoulders?
100%.
Right.
I feel like personally I'm a living example of a living product of
Right.
Nigeria and of Africa.
Right.
And everywhere I go, I make a conscious effort to fly my flag,
Right.
however possible, because it's who I am. I know nothing else. You know, nothing else comes to me naturally than being this person that you see today. So
Right.
I would not be in a haste to water it down or to
Right.
be somebody else. It's
Right.
also a good time to know that, you know, we could walk up to anyone now and be like, oh, I'm African, I'm Nigerian. And I know I met a few people that have told me that they're Africans and they are not too. You know, it's a great time. I'm not trying to like diss anyone who's probably done that, but I'm just saying it's like when maybe you don't like a certain kind of clothing, but because everyone is wearing it, you start to wear it as a trend. You know, it's a good thing. It means
Right.
it's catching on. So, you know,
Right.
thank you for being African by spirits,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
or at spirits, you
By
know,
spirit.
or whatever. So I'm thankful for the music scene, for even the media houses, you know, putting Africa and Nigeria, the entire Africa in the spotlight in a good way.
in
You
a
know,
good
it's
way.
not only about the badges. And you mentioned something, which is that a long time ago, people had an idea of what Africa was like, but now people have taken their own time to travel and see
it.
what it's like, to
Yeah.
gain the experience and
Yeah.
to share it. And that has word of mouth is something that should never be, you know,
Yeah.
underrated, because it takes over, and that's what has happened now. That's why Africa seems like it's the to-go destination.
Yeah. But it's always been the place.
It's always
It's
been.
always been the
Nobody
place.
knew. No one knew.
But
That's all.
no one knew. But you know what I mean? I'm just grateful that we're all getting to that place. And even me myself, like nowadays I'm doing a lot of research, not even just to like Africa and
know
the
the
place
culture.
itself, but the culture, our spiritual systems.
know,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And knowing
That's
that
very important.
we actually come come from divinity. From the earliest of earliest days. We have been spectacular. There are people in Africa that know about the cosmic star systems before anyone else did. So when you really learn about where you come from, the pride. When I walk into a room, do you think I'm ashamed to be the only black one? I don't care, bro. I'm like, the queen has arrived.
Come on,
the queen has arrived. And
Love that.
thank you for flying the flag and being such a great representation. So going back to your album that's coming out, Women of Steel.
Yes.
What can we be expecting from this album? Who can we find on there? What's the message gonna be like? Give us something, anything.
Well, luckily, good enough. We already know that Rick Ross is on that album.
Yes.
And we have about 9 other tracks on the album. The date will be released sometime next week.
Okay.
The date of release will be out sometime next week. I have a few features on the album.
Spoiler.
Honey, you know I ain't gonna tell you.
You have to
You know
ask.
I will not say. I can't talk. I can't say, but I'll just say also get your language joy on, because I'll be featuring people that speak a few other languages than English. And also I'll be bearing my mind. I'll be saying stuff that I ordinarily would not want to say. I'm not saying I'll be looking for trouble, but I'll be saying things as they are, and I'll be singing it, because music is my truth.
Right.
So you're being real.
Whether it has to do with my environment, with my career, with my person, with social media, whatever it is, I'll just be putting it out there,
Like that.
So question. So you say now on your album you're going to be a bit more open and talk about things that you usually wouldn't talk about. What has held you back before from being yourself in this like capacity? Because
I've had a few misunderstandings online, and when you try to defend yourself, it's like no one is listening, because the misunderstanding is more interesting and entertaining than the truth.
Tell me about it.
So like I've given up for so long on trying to speak my truth, and I just realized since no one is listening, I can't keep quiet. In Nigeria, there's a saying that goes this. It says, if you no talk, mouth go smell. So like, you know what I mean? Like if you keep your mouth shut all day, by the time you open it, it's going to be smelling,
Just say now.
So just say now. So I'm just going to put it in the music. It's not a trouble seeking album. No, it's not.
Right.
But it's therapy for me and therapy for people out there, just so that people out there can know that I'm also experiencing what they're experiencing. And just in case they didn't know my side of the story at some point, this is my side.
You're letting them know.
Yes.
I'm very proud of you, very happy for you, and I look really forward to hearing this. And do you know what I mean? Like nowadays with social media and stuff, how you represent yourself, we're so scared to talk. It's like
Honestly,
the cancel culture has put
you be shaking leg, you'll be so
a
scared.
silence on all of us.
No, you can't do that.
Yes, I know. It was needed, but at some point it's beginning to feel like it's a bit too much. Like everyone is trying to blow the horn on, she just did this, he just did that.
Yeah.
She can't. She's pink. She's supposed to talk like a red person.
Bad. But honestly, what I can say and what I do believe is that when people are so quick to cancel you and just want to see you kind of decline, they were never really the ones they were never there for you in the first place. And just embrace all the love that's around you. You have so many pure supporters, and
so many fans,
and that should fuel you more than the people that want to silence you.
Remember, sister, you just preached to my heart.
Oh yes.
Hey.
Because I wish a lot of people know what you just said. Like I wish our parents had been telling us this. I wish we'd been taught in school. Because the truth of the matter is, when people don't like you, no matter what you do, even if you do what they have insinuated you should do, they're never going to like you.
Yeah.
And I saw a saying somewhere that said, people that criticize you are people that have not done more than you.
Exactly.
People who have done more than you normally would always encourage you.
Yeah.
And if you look out, you would see that people criticizing you have barely stood up from their rooms to
Honestly.
achieve anything.
Did you shower today?
You know, you never bath, sir.
You don't
You're coming to tell me about how she wear my own shoe and clothes. You're smelling in your room.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. That's why I feel like nowadays taking things personally is just something you shouldn't do. When you see someone saying things towards you, you have to just take a minute. Stop, analyze, and realize, no, that's you and your reflection of me. You can't tell me about myself.
Yes.
And do you know what's so? Oh gosh, I just feel like everything's coming to me. So in my research of African spiritual systems, the first main thing that they say that you should do is know thyself. It's the key.
Because
and when you know yourself,
and that's a tough road. You might not understand what it means to know thyself. It means, you know, sometimes it's okay to speak to yourself.
Yep.
I speak to myself all the time.
Like when you're in a situation with someone and you find yourself alone, and then maybe because you're good-hearted and kind-hearted, you and the person has wronged you, you start to feel like it's you who did yourself wrong. The minute I just say, do you know what I say to myself? Hey, I'm like, that's what I tell myself. Hey, no, that's not me. I'm staying up in my high spirits.
Yep.
You know, I didn't do nothing wrong.
Yes,
And
honestly.
one time I was on my live, I was working out with my friend, and I was just, you know, sharing what I was doing while working out, and all of a sudden someone just writes a comment, "You are very stupid." I was like, oh man, I'm sorry.
Sorry for your life.
I'm sorry that you feel that way. I really hope that you go out there and you find a reason to be happy.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt sad for the person because, you know, nothing had happened.
You're
Nothing
here enjoying
happened.
yourself, even working out, and someone is now telling you you're
this is a
stupid.
mental situation. Something is wrong upstairs, and I
feel sorry
really
for you.
do wish the best for you. You know, and I think we need to understand that most times when people point at us and accuse us wrongly, it's not what we've done; it's what they've done to
It's what they've
themselves.
done to themselves and just their perspective on things. And like I said, it's why you can't take anything personally, because it really is more of a reflection of themselves. We were dropping so many gems. Anyone listening right now,
Know thyself.
I hope you got
Write
a
this down,
notebook.
honestly.
Know thyself.
I love that. Love
couple of
thyself.
quotes right here,
and just continue to prosper and just be patient, persist, and practice. You'll be absolutely fine.
The beat.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Have a fantastic time while you're here. Safe flights on your journey. Thank you for your wisdom and your spirit. It's been very, very
us,
real.
honestly.
Very, very blessed right now.
We are the beat. Your city. The beat. London.